Thank you for joining our webinar today. I'm pleased to welcome Jennifer Foraker, Director of Relationship Management at Hawthorn River, and Lillian Tantamonico, Director of Sales overseeing FlashSpread, Be Smarty's financial spreading solution. In today's session, they're going to take us behind the scenes of how lenders' workflows are evolving, showing how financial data moves seamlessly from borrower documents to credit decisions through the combined power of Hawthorn River and FlashSpread. You'll hear insights into how they're reducing manual work, improving efficiency, and creating a more connected lending process. I don't think we'll need the full hour here, but we wanted to make sure there was enough time for Q&A, so be sure to stay till the end. And with that, I will pass it over to you, Lily.
Thanks, Sabrina. And hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As Sabrina said, I'm the Director of Sales here at Be Smarty. We're super excited to walk you through how Hawthorn River and FlashSpread work together to help banks and credit unions transform one of the most consuming parts of commercial lending, financial spreading, into a faster, more accurate, and scalable process. Let's start by taking a look at what FlashSpread actually does and then the outcomes banks are seeing. Credit teams, as you all know, spend a tremendous amount of time manually extracting data from tax returns and financial statements. FlashSpread automates that process by extracting and spreading data from structured, unstructured, and scanned documents while automatically generating key spreads like cash flows, global debt service, income statements, balance sheets, ratios, and more. The result is a process that can go from hours to roughly 10 minutes, allowing teams to focus more on overall loan analysis, decisioning, and less on manual data entry. The value of FlashSpread extends beyond operational efficiency. FlashSpread helps institutions improve margins by increasing credit team productivity, scale loan growth without increasing staff. For executives, this means better visibility into borrower performance and stronger decision-making across the lending organization. At the end of the day, this is about driving profitable growth while maintaining strong credit discipline for your financial institution. One of the strengths of FlashSpread is the wide range of documents that it can process. Today, as you can see on the screen, we support everything from personal tax returns, W-2s, 1099s to business financial statements, corporate returns, partnership returns, K-1s, and supporting business schedules. We're also expanding in the next few months via AI-driven extraction for documents like rent rolls, personal financial statements, bank statements, AR and AP aging reports to help you to further automate the flow of the credit workflow even further. Thanks so much for your time. Didn't want to do too many slides today, so we're really excited to show you now what FlashSpread can accomplish in real time. All right, I'm going to begin this video for us to share, and Jennifer is going to key in.
Awesome. Thanks, Lily. As you all know, there's several different ways that we can access within Hawthorn to do all sorts of different things. You'll see here, I do have the ability to actually go in and go directly into the FlashSpreads, or in this instance, I had a client who actually uploaded via the portal. I know, shocking, they provided the documents in the right way. And what we're going to do is we're going to download these files. Then that will allow us to actually drag and drop those into the FlashSpreads environment.
Is my speaker still giving feedback?
Nope, you're okay.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So as we're going through the process here, you can see how you can drag and drop the files. You're able to upload these directly from your computer desktop or directly from Hawthorn. So you can kind of choose how you want to upload these files. As you can see now, we dragged and dropped a large amount of files into the platform. They're going right into the OCR and AI technology. Most documents take about 30 to 60 seconds to upload, depending on how large the document is. As you can see, we're going through the pending, the processing. This is the technology in action here. All of this data is then going to be brought back into Hawthorn River to allow you to do your analysis in your spreads. We accept PDF documents, Excel documents, and scanned copies are totally fine as well. As you can see at the bottom now, some of these documents have completed, and you can see the green check mark. You'll see that they show no errors. This is really important because our system is 97% accurate. If there's an error for any reason, maybe there's a math issue, maybe there is a um, watermark issue in the system, it'll be able to tell you, and your team will be able to go immediately to that item and see the issue. As we've been chatting here today, you'll see that they've all been uploaded. We're waiting on one more to finish analyzing. You'll be able to see the full processing time, the type of the document, and everything in the system is going to be tracked by EIN and social security number, making it really easy for you to navigate. Now, we're going into the system, into FlashSpread, where you can see under each entity and under each individual, all of the documents that have been uploaded. So you can see the tax forms, anything that's been uploaded under Lending House here. Now it's going to navigate into what we call reporting. Reporting is going to be the spreads themselves. So like I mentioned earlier, that's going to be your cash flows, your balance sheets, your UCA cash flows and beyond. The video is now going to toggle back into Hawthorn River and show you the Hawthorn River view. All of this data is being brought back into Hawthorn via FlashSpread. This probably looks familiar to many of you, right? You can see the FlashSpread view and you can see the standard view. Really important here, here's all of those calculations being automated. Anything in here with a pencil can be edited. You also can add in and model out your different loan amounts in the system as well. Here's a wider view. It's going to show you the FlashSpread flow. Everything in real time via API is brought right back into Hawthorn River. Really important piece here where it says create global, that means your loan itself, right? So we call it a deal, we call it global. It's simply just your loan. So this is where you can bring in multiple borrowers, multiple entities, all into one spreading flow. If we pause here and you look at the top, you can see subject entities, you can see affiliates, and you can see guarantors. In this model, we have one of each. However, you can have a number of those into the system, and it's going to pull everything together automatically into your global analysis. You can edit the deal to include certain documents and certain tax years. Here's all of those automated calculations here. You can see the breakdown of each individual. Now you can see all of the different reports and cash flows. Here's the key piece that you're all going to care about. How does this tie into my outputs, right? How does it tie into the write-up in Hawthorn River? You'll be able to pull all of these spreads directly back into Hawthorn River into the write-up that you're creating in an automated way. Here's that view. Here's those spreads being added right into the write-up. They're going to be cropped right into the accurate size. You'll be able to then craft your narrative around them, add anything else into that write-up, your strengths and weaknesses, all of that directly in. All right, now I am going to navigate over here and show you the write-up itself. So you all can see that in action. Give me 1 second. Now, whether you use Hawthorne's manual spreading or you use FlashSpread, this write-up should look very familiar to you. So here's the final write-up, right? It's going to show all of your loan app details, your payment structure, your purpose, that narrative I just spoke to, all of your relationship information, all automated from Hawthorne. Now we're going to navigate down and you can see all of those spreads directly from FlashSpread itself. You can pull in anything that you would like into the final write-up. Then it's going to show you your final financial analysis with your EBITDA, your debt service, your net margin, your distributions, everything all connected into your final write-up with your strengths and weaknesses, with your final credit report, etc. This makes it really easy for your executives, for anyone who's going to be taking a look at your final write-ups, and for you to be able to reference the automation. All right, and that brings us to the end of our automated demonstration. Now we're going to go into a Q&A.
Okay, so my first question here is for banks already using Hawthorne, what's the biggest operational benefit they see after adding the FlashSpread integration?
Yeah, absolutely. The largest item that you just saw throughout that demonstration is going to be the less manual data entry, right? So analysts on your team, anyone on your team, your loan officers are really going to be able to spend their time doing their full analysis rather than manual data entry.
Great, thank you for that. Another question here, how does FlashSpread help create consistency in calculations across different analysts, underwriters, and loan officers?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you saw at the end, the standardizing of the spread outputs directly into your write-up in Hawthorne is going to reduce that compliance risk, ensuring every spread is documented along the way, allowing it to be super easy for your reviews and audits, and easier to manage your overall process.
And how are banks using FlashSpread to grow loan volume without increasing staffing costs?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you saw, and we talked about a bit, right, the most consuming aspects of the income analysis is the spreading of the actual data. So now they can review more loans while maintaining their quality and consistency, right? That's, of course, the utmost focus that your board and your auditors care about.
Perfect. A lot of questions coming in, so that's great. How long does onboarding take?
Yeah. So FlashSpread, we provide a hands-on onboarding over a 2-week period. We have a ton of new and updated user guides. So any of our current customers on this line as well, we're happy to share those with you. But for a new client's onboarding, we run through a series of calls, making sure you're confident to run a spread end to end. The actual integration and tying in the API connection is very simple and only takes about a day or two on the Hawthorne side.
Okay. Does the financial statements have to be in a certain format? Does it read guarantor credit bureaus?
So we accept certain documents. So we'll share this in an email after the webinar here today of what we accept. However, they can be scanned, they can be PDFs, they can be Excels, as long as it's on our accepted documents list. And like I talked about, we have some new documents coming down the pipe here in the next 3 to 6 months as well.
Is there a maximum number of allowed entities or properties?
There is not. It may make the upload take a little bit longer, but not at this time.
Okay, and can you manipulate the automated cash flow if there are non-recurring items or changes in income, etc.?
Yes, you can. So anything with a pencil that I showed earlier can be manipulated. So you can also manipulate the outputs of the spreads. We can change calculations for you, and your team is able to remove any information or add anything in manually as well.
How does FlashSpread deal with the creation of projections?
Yes. So projections can be manually entered into the system. So the same way that you saw things being able to be uploaded, you can manually enter that in as well.
Can can it cash flow one business owned by another business? For example, LLC owned by an LLC?
Yes, it can. And you can change like distribution, shareholder percents, and all of that in the K1s as well.
I'm loving all these questions. Is
Yeah,
there
these
a
are great.
sandbox or test environment that we can utilize to practice?
Yeah, so I can absolutely anyone asking these great questions, I can show you a more in-depth demo and we can kind of customize it to your situation and documents, of course. This is meant to be high level today, and then we can discuss the sandbox, different ways that we can test some of your documents out.
Um, how does how do the spreads by FlashSpread compare to the output provided by Moody's spreads?
That's a great question. Again, this is one that we can address kind of on the side. I would like to see exactly what you're talking about because we have various different reports. So it depends on what output you're talking about. But in terms of our accuracy and our ability to scan or to read scanned documents, we have that very high 97% accuracy, but we absolutely can set up a separate call to go more in depth.
Will it update financial tickets automatically?
I believe that's a Hawthorn question, Jennifer.
Yeah, I'll have to take that one offline. If whoever asked that question, if you want to throw in a ticket, I'll certainly get an answer back from our SMEs on that for you.
And once financials are spread in the system, is there an option to export all of the information to Microsoft Excel?
There is. I believe, Jennifer, that might also depend on the Hawthorn setup, but in FlashSpread there is.
When it comes to EBITDA adjustments, for example, add backs and exclusions, can you make such manual adjustments?
Yes, you can.
And can you customize what types of ratios you want to calculate?
Yeah, we will have to, let's take that one offline. In FlashSpread we can, and I'm pretty sure it can pull back into Hawthorn. But we can deep dive into that as well.
There's a couple more here. What is the pricing, including implementation?
Yeah. So the way that our pricing structure works is basically you purchase a bucket of spreads. The pricing will go directly through me. And it depends on how many loans you do on a monthly and annual basis that we come up with that number. So definitely something that we can schedule and I can give you pricing.
Steve, one of the great things that I forgot to add to the invite, as well as in the customer community, Smarty has an amazing ROI calculator where you can actually input the number of spreads that you would be doing a month to determine cost and the return on investment. So it is pretty darn slick. I certainly was having fun playing around with it. So we'll make sure that that's shared out with you all as well.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer. Another question here. Historically, there was a strict limitation called the electronic tax return reader that would not allow PDF or photocopies. It only accepted native electronically filed tax return files. You mentioned all sorts of files can be scanned in for auto spreading. Does the advent of AI eliminate the ETRR limitation, or is this specifically a FlashSpread benefit?
This is specifically a FlashSpread benefit that we don't have that limitation. You might be referring to different spreading solutions, but we don't have uh, that restriction.
For someone who currently uses FlashSpread, could you please show again how to transfer FlashSpread cash flow or financial statements directly to the write-up?
Absolutely. So we will share out this video will be recorded and we'll be able to share it out with you. And then we're going to do a session specifically, Jennifer and I, for current existing clients that we can go over that. And we'll have someone from Hawthorne kind of zoom in and make sure that we're showing that part.
Does this work well for AG customers with a Schedule F? Also, does it work well for customers with multiple schedules?
Yes, it does. We support Schedule Fs. And yes, multiple schedules. In that list of accepted documents, you'll see all of the schedules that we accept, but Schedule F, C, et cetera, are all included. Great questions, everyone.
I know these are really great. How much does this product cost? I think we just went into that. How has this been tested for accuracy? How secure is the information?
Yeah, great question. We do have our standard security due diligence package that we can share with you as a part of course, our process that we go through, but we are SOC 2 certified.
Can the output be saved somewhere other than the write-up in Hawthorn River?
Jennifer, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I believe it's actually going to come into the write-up, but it's also going to save the information back. So not just in the write-up, you'll still be able to see it within the spreads in Hawthorn when it comes back in. So the nice thing is as you all know, our goal is always to do a one and done. So the data entry when it's done, and in this case, FlashSpreads is doing kind of that analysis and then sending that information back. So it's going to come back into the system, so you're not having to rekey it.
Okay, great. In FlashSpread, can you copy a year forward into a projection like you can do in the Hawthorn River spreads?
You'll be able to still do that, like Jennifer just mentioned. So you can manipulate the data once it's pulled back into Hawthorn and add in your projections.
Is there an additional cost to adding FlashSpread to our Hawthorn environment?
There is, yes. And I'm happy to discuss what that cost looks like. It depends on the number of, your loan volume and what that looks like. But cost tends not to be a prohibitor when I speak to most Hawthorn clients.
Will it read a credit report?
It does not currently read a credit report. We do have that. We're looking into that for future, but you're able to key that into Hawthorn and pull it into your final write-up.
If a return is a watermark draft, will it read it?
It will, yes, as long as nothing's like blocking the actual document, like the numbers on the document.
How well does FlashSpread work for AG-focused banks with Schedule F data that needs to be broken out for I&E projections? I think we just answered that, right?
Yeah, we did. Yep, we can support. We have plenty of ag clients.
What challenges does the program present? Any issues or glitches?
No overall issues or glitches. I think the one thing to call out, right, is if you have a 500-page document, it might take a little bit longer to read and scan into the system. We do have, with someone had mentioned, new AI capabilities. We do have, in the next kind of 60 to 90 days, we have some really large AI enhancements that are coming that should make the reading and scanning of the documents even faster. But today we don't typically get too many complaints about that. You saw kind of in this demonstration how long it typically takes. 30 seconds for your average size document, maybe a little bit larger, takes a minute, a little over a minute to be read and scanned into the platform.
When will the current FlashSpread user demo be?
We haven't scheduled the time yet. The plan is to send a follow-up email after this, and then we'll be sure to get a Hawthorn, resource on the call, and then I'll be there to answer questions as well. But Jennifer, maybe, I don't know, mid-July or something like that.
Yeah, probably likely then. We'll reach out to see about scheduling for you guys. We like to give at least a advance notice on it. So.
And then I will also be present at the next Hawthorn conference, which we're really excited for as well. So we'll get some hands-on time there as well.
Okay, I have three more for now. Is there an ability to do balance sheets with detailed schedules on items like equipment lists?
Yes. So we support balance sheets and income statements. You may have to categorize the data a bit, but we do support the ingestion of those documents as well.
Perfect. And can we ask again how it has been tested for accuracy? I think I got lost with the security question.
Yeah, absolutely. We can follow up to give you kind of the exact. So our technology for what you just saw is OCR technology. It is not like you're thinking of probably an LLM kind of AI model. But we'll go through all of that in more detail with our security due diligence. We have answers to all of that in there. And I'm happy to share it offline. If you send me an email, we can get an NDA and give you more details on that.
Great. And does it determine total debt schedule with potential loans?
Yes. So you can upload the debt schedule directly from Hawthorn, or you can key in the debt schedule if you have any, like you don't have one per se already built out. And then you can pull that all into the overall loan. You also can model out the future debts that would come with your bank giving them a loan. So you have abilities to kind of manipulate the data how you foresee.
Will it read photos of documents taken with cell phones?
Yes, as long as the quality is not, super blurry or crooked, etc. It will support that as long as it's in a PDF format.
What percentage of Hawthorn River banks are using this now?
It's a great
That's a good
question.
question.
It's about 5% right now, Sarah.
Great. And last question, does the program spread tax returns for individuals and calculate individual cash flow as well?
It does. Yep. So, and then you can pull the individuals and the entity cash flows together, but you also can see the individual cash flow separately as well.
Okay. That is all we have for today. Thank you, Lillian and Jennifer, for sharing your insights and expertise today. We hope this session provided a valuable look at how commercial lenders can streamline workflows, reduce manual effort, and move from documents to decisions more efficiently. Jennifer will be following up with a recording. In the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out using the emails on the screen. Maybe we can pull that back up, Lily. If you have any questions or would like to continue the conversation, please let us know. Thank you all for joining. We appreciate your time.
Thank you all. I'm here for additional in-depth demonstrations as well. And then, like we said, we look forward to doing the user group. So thank you all for your time today.
Thanks all.